Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy 2.5T all-wheel drive. This model is finished off in Calypso Red and it has an MSRP just under $45,000. And to start off today's review, let's take a look at what powers this Santa Fe. Underneath the hood is the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. This is paired to the 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, and it pumps out 277 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the all-wheel drive system. This weighs in right around 4,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 18.8 gallons. You'll expect to see around 21 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 108.9 inches. Its overall length is 188.4. It has a width of 74.8, a height of 66.3, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.2 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for the Santa Fe, let's start off with the massive grille. It has a slight hexagonal shape to it. There are plenty of cutouts in this grille as well to provide a lot of cooling to that turbocharged engine. The Hyundai badge is finished off in chrome right in the middle. There's also a forward-facing camera, which is going to help with added visibility, along with having all the parking sensors running right through the middle. Now in the lower section of the grille, there's a brush trim piece that goes from headlight to headlight just to tie it in nicely, along with the one in the lower section. Now as we make our way to these LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, this has a very distinctive and unique housing. So in the upper section, you can see part of the DRL, almost looks like a big capital T with bodywork right in the middle. The DRL continues in the lower section. However, the turn signal is just in the upper housing, so it's very interesting to see that. The headlights and the high beams are in that lower housing. Maybe that's a capital T for the 2.5T for turbo. There's even more mesh in the lower section of the grille, along with that forward sensor for the adaptive cruise. Now there's also functional air inlets on the very corner just underneath the headlight housings. They will exit in the front of the tires, again to provide better aerodynamics. And then there's really nice lines that come down the hood, 2 on each side basically, meeting the top of those headlight housings very nicely. Now as we work our way to the side, this has a very unique set of 20-inch wheels with a multi-spoke design, two-tone pattern. You'll definitely not see another wheel like this, but I think it matches very nicely, especially with this exterior red. Now there's more brushed aluminum in the lower side skirt, matching nicely with that front bumper. This does have body-colored side mirrors. They have the integrated turn signal along with a camera, and this even has a full moonroof with the brushed aluminum roof racks. There's more chrome trim surrounding the windows. It gives it a really nice color contrast with this red. Now there's also more chrome on the door handles and really nice lines that run down the side. There's one just above the door handles and then obviously in the lower side skirt. And then as we make our way to the rear, that brushed aluminum continues on to the lower section. It's surrounding the dual exhaust as well. This even has a body-colored spoiler with the integrated third brake light. The wiper blade is in the lower section, just to provide better visibility for the driver. This has a set of LED taillights. Now the turn signals are actually mounted in the lower section. And then this has a backup camera with all the parking sensors and even the power liftgate. So with the exterior wrapped up, let's make our way to that rear trunk space. So in order to do that, I can hold the button on the key fob or use the one that's located next to the backup camera. And with this open, there is a lot of space with the back seats up. So you have a nice flat surface to put in a lot of items. And then there's also 2 compartments up underneath the floor. So in this first one here, if I pull on this tab, you'll see there are 3 individual areas, perfect for groceries or whatever items you may have. You don't want them to slide around, perfect for dividing all of that. And then in the other compartment, you can see there's a little bit more storage along with a tire inflator kit and a little bit more storage on that right side. So it's very awesome to see that built into this vehicle. And then over on the right side, there's a 12 volt. You can even fold down the second row just by pushing on these buttons. So if I do that, now you can see just how much more storage space there is for the interior on this SUV. And then you do have to manually fold the back seats back up, but it's awesome to have those buttons if you need them from the back. Now with the power liftgate, the button up top, you can just push on that and it will close. There is no lock button on the tailgate itself, so you do have to use the key fob from there. But let's move on to the remote start now, because this has a very cool option to see. So if I lock the vehicle and then hold on this button, it will automatically start up. From there, you can actually move this vehicle forwards and backwards. So if someone is parked very close to you and you cannot enter your door, if I push on this button, the car will actually move backwards. So now we have a remote control Hyundai Santa Fe. When you let go of the button, it will stop moving. And then I can push on the forward control and this will start moving forwards. That is a pretty cool technology feature to see. And then from there, you can actually shut off the vehicle. So you don't even have to get into your Hyundai in order to move it. Very awesome to see. Now let's make our way to the interior, where this has the beige leather, which is a perfect combo with this exterior red. Now on the door panel, you'll see more of that tan leather. There's some plastic in the upper section. This does have a manual adjusting sunshade, so you can use that as needed. Very nice trim piece for that release. There's also brushed aluminum on the window control, along with the heated seat adjustments. This has the Harman Kardon sound system. There's a little bit of storage space in the lower section of the door as well. You'll see Santa Fe down on the door sill, and then taking another look at this beige leather interior. They have a nice design to them, and at 5'10", I can make my way into these back seats, where I do have the front seat set at my height. I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs. There's even a cutout behind the driver's seat, so you have a little bit more knee room. Over on the passenger side, there is a storage net with those same cutouts. There are 2 air vents right in the middle, along with some auxiliaries, so you can charge electronics from the back seats. And then as far as headroom goes, I'm 5'10", like I said. I have a few inches above my head. I can even recline these all the way back. So you can be very comfortable, cruise around in the back of this Hyundai, and you have plenty of room for 3 people to be back here comfortably. You'll also notice too that the interior of this Hyundai has the Alcantara headliner. It's even on the entire moonroof cover too. Very awesome to see that from a Hyundai. Now right in the middle, if you don't have a center person, you have the armrest along with 2 cup holders if you need to use that. And then as far as visibility goes, that is a pretty bulky pillar, but I've had no visibility issues. I can easily see around that. And you'll notice too, these speaker covers have a pretty neat 3D design to them in all 4 doors. So that is a great touch. Now, as we work our way to the front seats, the door panels finish off just like the rear. There's the addition of all the window controls, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding. This even has memory seating adjustments and a lot more storage space in the lower section of that door. Santa Fe is down on the door sill, and then we have the same 2-tone design for these front seats. You'll see the black leather on the outside of the bolstering support, and then these are automatic seats, so all of those adjustments are down on the side. And then it is very easy to enter the front seats. That door sill is very low, which is nice to see. And then looking at the steering wheel now, it's completely covered in solid and perforated leather with silver stitching running along the inside. All of the accents are brushed aluminum, which is a nice touch to see. Now on this right side is the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, along with the steering assist. On this left side, you can go through the radio, along with Bluetooth and voice commands. There's volume and tuning. This even has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, which are finished off in brushed aluminum. But let's fire this Hyundai back up. With my foot on the brake, that brushed aluminum button is over on the right side, and we can fire this up. And looking at this digital gauge cluster, you can see miles per hour and the tach are actually in boxes. I'm going to show how these perform once we get this out on the road. Very interesting to see that design. The fuel level is over on the left side, tach is on the right side, and then there's some more fixed information running across the lower section. But using those buttons over on the right side, I can scroll up to the attention level. So you have 2 different tabs on this page here. We can also pull up the miles per hour right in the middle, look at your driving information, along with some other statistics. You have your accumulated info along with your auto stop. Then we can also pull up the compass and then look at the powertrain, so you can see what power is going to what wheels, along with the TPMS. So that is all the info that you get right in the middle. And then as we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see the electronic parking brake along with traction control. You can open and close the power liftgate. There's the lane keeping assist along with dimmer switches for the gauges. There is 1 air vent and more of that beige leather. This also has the heads-up display, so it's showing the miles per hour. And then right in the middle, we have this touchscreen system that measures just over 10 inches. And on the home screen here, this is the calm setting where you can see the time, the temperature, and then basically just a blue and black screen. If I swipe over, now we have a lot more icons to go into, like map, so I can pull this up in full screen. You can go to your phone. Phone projection is how you can pair your phone to the system. There's voice memos, the climates. This even has passenger talk. So if I'm talking right now, the audio might be a little bit distorted simply because the vehicle is picking up my audio at the same time. So So that's pretty cool. You can talk to the people in the back seat. They can hear you a little bit better. There's a few other icons that you can go through as well on this home screen, and that is pretty much it. So not a whole lot of information, but it definitely has everything that you need. Now there's more of that tan leather going all the way to the passenger side, surrounding one air vent along with the two in the middle. The hazards are right in the middle of those. And then at the very bottom, we have all of these adjustments. They are laid out well though. Power and volume for the radio is on this left side, tuning is on the right side, and then we have physical buttons to get to everything on that upper screen. So I just clicked on navigation. Pushing on the star, you can actually configure that to whatever you use the most. So it's basically the favorites. You can get into your radio, your media, go into your setup too. And then underneath that is all the climate controls. So we have the temperature for driver and passenger on the outside. Fan speed is in the middle. You can sync these. Where you like the air to go is in the middle as well. And then we have auto too. And then working our way below that, over on this right side, this is the engine start stop feature. There's the auto hold, the heated steering wheel as well. This even has a downhill assist control. You can turn on and off the parking sensors, and there's a shortcut to the 3D camera system. Now, if you hold on this button, this has the parking assist system, which you can use for parallel parking and other situations like that. But with the 3D camera system, you have a lot of visibility for everything that you need to see. And then underneath those controls, we have the heated and ventilated seats, which is standard for this model. And to the left of that, this is how you go through the gears. So with my foot on the brake, if I just push on R, that is for reverse. So you'll see the backup camera up here. Drive is at the bottom, neutral is in the middle, and then park is on that left side. There's a really neat trim piece that accents running behind that. It's even on the cover here, where if I open this up, this has a cup holder along with a USB. This even has a wireless charging pad, which is actually located here. So if I take my phone, I can actually push it all the way down and it will start to charge. I think that is a great integration. It doesn't take up any room, having a massive area. You can just slide that in there or use this for some other smaller items if you need to. There's a cup holder to the right of that. There's also a lot more storage space up underneath this entire area where you'll see some auxiliaries so you can charge electronics and store any items underneath there that you need. I think that is a great use of space. As we work our way to the center armrest now, there is this removable tray and then a lot of space. It is a little bit narrow, but you could fit some items in there as needed. And then over on the passenger side, there's actually a small compartment up top with a little bit of a lip so your items won't slide out. Really cool to see that. And then the glove box has all of the room that you need to put that information there. We'll take another look at these seats. And like I mentioned earlier, this has the full panoramic sunroof. If I push on this button here, you can actually do a 2-for-1. You can open up the sunshade and the sunroof at the same time. And then you can use that button just to control one or the other. So that is great. Right in the middle, we do have the dome lights on both sides, and there's a few call buttons just in front of that. As we get behind the wheel now for this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe, I'm gonna start off with the pricing for this model. The Calligraphy is basically the top of the line for this Santa Fe, and while this Hyundai is over $40,000, honestly, you are getting so much from Hyundai for that price, and a lot of features that are in other brands that are way more expensive than this. So honestly, Hyundai is killing the game with what they're providing in their cars for an affordable price as well. This is right in line with the average price of a new car today, and for an average price, you're getting more than average from this Hyundai. So I really like this spec, exterior, interior colors. I like everything that it has to offer, all the storage space, even heated rear seats, and the storage up underneath the cargo area. You honestly can't go wrong with this model. It's all-wheel drive, so you can drive it in inclement weather if you need to. And aside from that, it's been a very nice SUV that I've had for the week. It's super comfortable and quiet, very easy to drive, and we're gonna put it into a sport mode right now. This does have a center locking diff that you can't activate while you're driving. You could maybe take this off the pavement if you wanted to, maybe gravel or something like that. But it is interesting that it does have that center lock. But we're gonna twist on that dial and put it into sport mode now, where we can activate these paddle shifters. Now there's no button to actually activate them other than just pushing on them themselves. And then when you wanna stop using the paddles, simply just hold on the right one and it will go back into drive. You have to hold about 2 or 3 seconds. But we're gonna go down to second gear with this all-wheel drive system, give it some gas. And it's pretty peppy. it will get up and move. The shifts aren't that responsive for the paddles, but I am impressed that they are there. So if you'd like to use them, you have the option to do that. And as far as visibility goes, real quick, let's talk about that. I've had no issues with the amount of glass that's offered, being able to see pretty much a 360-degree view. There's these small windows in front of the side view mirror so you can see on both sides. Over my right shoulder there, that pillar is a little bit bulky, but I can easily see through that glass on the side, and then I can see over my left shoulder. So it's very easy to see. It's very maneuverable as well. So driving this in parking lot situations and things like that, you're not going to have any issues. So for the size of this SUV, it's kind of compact, I'll say. It has a small footprint to it, but there's a lot of interior space, as you've already seen. And just from fourth gear there, it's got some power. It's not performance oriented. Hyundai doesn't have too many models like that, at least for their SUVs. Some of their sedans they do. So this is not performance oriented by any means, but it definitely has the get up and go that you're looking for an SUV like this. And as we switch over to the POV angle, I want to try to point out an interesting quirk that I've noticed. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on camera, but if you can see the miles per hour right now, as soon as we get to 40 miles an hour, that box is going to shift to the left. Same with the RPM. As soon as you get to every 1,000 and then every 10th on the speedometer, we get to 50, it'll change again. Now, it won't do anything when you slow down, so they won't go in the reverse direction when you slow down. So that's an interesting thing to point out. And aside from that, here's a look at what it's like being behind the wheel of this Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm really blown away for the pricing with all of these interior materials like the brushed aluminum, all of the leather, even features like heated and ventilated seats, the Harman Kardon sound system even. You are getting a lot for your money from this Hyundai. And Hyundai and Kia, they are known to have really good warranties as well. It's like 10-year, 100,000 miles, something like that. One of the best warranties in the manufacturing industry. And look at that, from a Hyundai, especially an SUV like this. Definitely very peppy. But a look at visibility from this angle real quick. You can see over that right side, and then a glance over the left shoulder there. This has that adaptive cruise and the steering assist too. So even technology like that is offered on this Hyundai. Now, of course, this is the top of the line, so you would expect it to have pretty much all of the bells and whistles, but it's at that affordable price, which is crazy to see. I could get on board with one of these. I am more of a performance-oriented type of person, so this would need a little bit more performance for my taste. But just being an everyday, daily driving vehicle, I could get on board with this. It is so comfortable, very, very nice. And you are getting a lot for your money. But that's going to wrap it up for this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy 2.5T all-wheel drive. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.